Hello everybody and welcome back. Today we're going to be discussing the book and the movie Water for Elephants. I'm going to tell you some facts about the book and the movie and then compare and contrast their similarities and differences, and then I'm going to give you my opinion on which one that I think was better. So first off, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the book. The book was published in 2006 by author Sarah Gruen. It is a story about a boy named Jacob who loses everything while he is in veterinarian school, and he ends up joining a circus train and joining this circus, and it tells his story about his journey, his falling in love, everything throughout his time being on this circus. This book gained popularity very quickly and was a New York Times bestseller for a little over 4 years, which is an amazing feat by Sarah Gruen. One very interesting fact about this book is that it is now a possibility of being turned into a Broadway play. So look out in the next few years. Maybe you guys can go see it live at Broadway. Another really cool thing that Sarah did with her book is that throughout the chapters, she's included real pictures in there from the circus. As you can see here is a picture of someone at the circus. It's the lady with the elephant, and there are just multiple pictures that are throughout this book, and these are actual real pictures from real circuses back in that time period. The movie was released a few years later in 2011. It's two main characters, as you can see featured on the cover of this DVD, is Reese Witherspoon and Robert Pattinson, which plays the two main characters, Marlena and Jacob. Something really cool about this movie is, of course, it's a movie about the circus, so you see many animals throughout this film. All of the animals in this film were real. The only thing that was animated was the stampede scene at the end, but everything else throughout the entirety of the film was real animals, which was really cool. A little interesting tidbit is because they had so many real animals in this film, the filmmakers worked with the American Humane Society to ensure proper treatment of all these wild animals, which I think was a really good idea, and it made this movie even more satisfying in my eyes because of their willingness to work with those animals and their needs. So the movie and the book, I'm going to talk about the similarities between it. So the main plot. The movie and the book both have similarities concerning Jacob's journey. Both begin Jacob's story with him taking his final exam to become a veterinarian, and he is interrupted during his exam by his professor, and he gets the news that his parents have died, which is the driving point to him leaving his home, which he no longer owns because his parents had mortgaged their house to be able to send Jacob to school. So the bank now owns the home, and Jacob is unable to have it. So he literally has nothing, and therefore he leaves home and he ends up joining the train and the circus. I was really happy to see that was similar in the movie as it was in the book is Jacob and his relationship with Camel when he gets Jake Leg. Camel insists on drinking this specific booze, and he ends up getting this disease called Jake Leg, which causes him to have paralysis. And you can see Jacob's compassion towards Camel because Camel was the one who originally was able to get him joined to the train, which was also the same in the book as it is in the movie. And you see Jacob trying his best to keep him hidden so he doesn't get red lighted. You see him trying to make him comfortable. You see him trying to get in touch with his only son to come and get Camel and take care of him. There was another scene that was in the movie that was the same in the book that was a very big impact upon Jacob's life, and that was the death of Camel and Walter. Camel and Walter end up being found out, and they end up being red lighted, also known as they were kicked off the train, and they ended up falling on rocks, and it ended up killing them. Although this happened the same in the movie as it did in the book, I don't think it had quite as big of an impact. I don't think it was made into as big of a scene in the movie as it was in the book. But it did happen. Another huge similarity between the book and the movie is that everything ended the same. There was the stampede there was the ending of the Zambini circus. Marlena and Jacob end up getting married. They end up joining the Ringling Brothers Circus, and they live happily together until Marlena dies, and then Jacob is left on his own in the nursing home. Okay, now on to the differences. The biggest difference that I saw that really bothered me was there was no Uncle Al in the movie. In the book, Uncle Al is the owner. He is the ringleader of the Zambini circus that Jacob joins. In the movie, he is non-existent. He is not a character whatsoever. Instead, they make August, who is Marlena's husband, the ringleader, the owner of the Zambini circus in the movie. So they completely cut out Uncle Al's part, which really disturbed me because he was the boss in the book. So it bothered me a lot that he was not present in the movie. One thing that you notice almost immediately in the movie that was different than the book is the role of older Jacob when he is in the nursing home. In the book, we start out with him in the nursing home. It goes back and forth between his story in the nursing home and his flashbacks to his life in the past. In the movie, he is given such a small, compact role. You only see him in the very beginning of the movie and then again at the very end of the movie. Whereas in the book, we see peeks of him throughout the whole book. It goes into more of his feelings and his life living in the nursing home. It shows how he was able to go from the nursing home to the circus in town and how he was able to sit there and tell his story to the man at the circus. Whereas in the movie, it just picks up with him already there at the circus. We're completely missing the older part of Jacob that was in the book. Another pretty big difference in the book and the movie is in the book, Marlena tells Jacob that she is pregnant near the end. In the movie, there is no mention of her being pregnant whatsoever. Another difference is that ending scene. In the book, the only person who sees Rosie kill August is Jacob, and he keeps that secret with him for the rest of his life. He doesn't want Marlena to know it was Rosie that killed August because he doesn't want Marlena to think differently of Rosie. Whereas in the movie, Marlena is fully aware of what Rosie's doing. She sees Rosie kill him, and so it's changed a little bit differently in the movie rather than it was in the book. Also, another difference of that ending scene is in the movie, August attacks and tries to kill Marlena, whereas that does not happen whatsoever in the book. So although I think the book was very good and the movie was very good, I would definitely have to say that the book wins out by a long shot. There's so much more in the book that was not present in the movie. I think it goes into a lot more detail in the book. You get a lot more look into things that you don't in the movie. I mean, it has so much more to offer. It was such an excellent book. I recommend it to anyone to read. So although the movie was very good, the book was definitely better in my opinion. So which one did you like better? Did you like the book better as well, or did you like the movie? Tell me why. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you guys next time where we will be discussing The Hunger Games.